Hello everybody, we are at the inter-row living mulch plots today. In this study we are looking at using strip till to plant the main commodity crops in standing cover crops. We're using fall rye and winter pea mix as the cover crop, which was planted in fall last year, and earlier in spring this year we used strip till to remove strips of the cover crops to have um, a seed bed for planting our main crops, which include corn, canola, and dry beans. And we were able to keep the cover crops within the rows, and we want to see how that affects main crop growth and what additional benefits does that provide. So with the cover crops growing between the rows, they can potentially help with soil erosion. With the living roots anchoring the soils, they can reduce soil erosion and potentially also protect the younger seedlings from wind shear damage. There are other benefits. They improve the biodiversity and they can also improve soil health. But it's important to manage these systems properly so that the cover crops don't end up competing with the main crops. The cover crops were terminated with the first in-crop herbicide application, and to look at their effects on soil moisture and other inputs, we have the moisture probes to to quantify their effects on moisture. We're also using the PRS probes to see how the cover crops affect bioavailability of nutrients. We're taking soil samples to see their effect on how much organic matter they are adding to the soils, and then also other measurements on the main crops like their establishment, their biomass, yield, etc. Just to see how much of a competition effect there is, and what benefits we are able to drive. Um, so for treatments, we have the inter cover crops, strip tilled, um, and compared to just the normal herbicide and disked cover crops in these plots. And then there are also control plots which didn't have any cover crops. And for the main crops, we have corn plots over here, dry beans, and then canola. The overall the study is a part of a bigger program, Saving Soils program. It's being funded by RBC Tech for Nature and Weston Foundation Soil Health Initiative. Overall, the program is looking at cover crop management and how we can maybe improve the benefits that we drive of cover crops, especially under irrigated systems here in southern Alberta.
Anything interesting you're seeing so far?
It's too early to tell for most of the parameters because we haven't really compared the data on a lot of them. Like for all of these probes, and we haven't extracted data. This is the year one of the study. We did get some data on plant establishment. Haven't really seen any differences. So there's probably not the cover crops haven't affected the establishment. So we are collecting all of this data on soil and crop parameters, but we haven't yet evaluated this data. It's too early for me to uh, give you any findings. So we'll have the data analyzed this fall, and we'll hopefully be reporting on some of that data in a coming conference in February 2024.